What a game. We move to 12-5 and head to the NFC wildcard. Unfortunately, as the number 3 seed instead of the number 2, and if the refs would actually helped us out a little bit and not screwed us over against Dallas, we would be number 2 seed. And we are going to face Matthew Stafford and the LA Rams. Oh boy. This was like the worst. This was like the team that I did not want to face at all in the playoffs, is the Rams. It's going to be so nice to beat Stafford and play him and stuff like that. But it's terrifying, dude. Because Stafford is still great, and the Rams are, I think, have won like 5 out of the last 6 or 6 out of the last 7 or something crazy. They're very similar to us at the end of last year. But we got a lot of roster moves to talk about. I haven't uploaded in about a couple weeks. I'm sorry about that. And then we got some outs for tomorrow's game. This is being filmed on the Saturday. We got to hurry this video up, by the way, though, because the Browns and Texans game is going on in about 20 minutes. So I'm going to try to rush through this video, keep it around 10 minutes and under. But we're going to go over the game first, and then we'll go over transactions and outs. So game. Jared Goff threw around, I think it was 280 yards, 2 touchdowns, beat his passing touchdowns and passing yards from last year. And it was like, I think it was 4,550 passing yards, which is about 100 more passing yards than what he had last year. And 30 touchdowns, which is 1 more touchdown than he had last year. He did throw 5 more picks this year than what he did last year, but also he threw the ball way more. So not going to blame that all on him. David Montgomery got 1,000 yards. Unfortunately, Gibbs couldn't get 1,000. He kind of struggled. He's had some back-to-back struggling weeks, but it's fine. I've been expecting him to bounce back in the playoffs. But Montgomery hit 1,000 yards. Laporta got hurt. It looked like a very bad injury. It looked like it could have been a season-ending injury on a catch. He only had about 30 yards, but he got hurt. Looks like he was going to be out for the rest of the year. And then Campbell said in his press conference, it doesn't look as bad as what they thought. And I'll give you the injury report on him in a minute. O-line was good, only allowed 1 sack to Danielle Hunter, who's one of the best pass rushers in the league. Hutch got 2 sacks, beating what he had last year with 11.5. He ends the year with 11.5. He had 9.5 last year, so good for Hutch. Had 5 or 6 sacks in the last 2 games for him. Good for him. Jack Campbell probably had the best game of his career. He had a sack and a lot of tackles. I think it was 9 or 10 tackles total, so he had a great game. McNeil came back, so did C.J. Gardner-Johnson from injured reserve. C.J. Gardner-Johnson had a pick. He played pretty well, I thought, when he played, and McNeil, same as well. He almost had a sack, McNeil. Is very close to getting a sack. Cam Sutton also had a pick. Secondary really struggled again. Almost allowed 200 yards to Jefferson. I think it was like 170. We have to have a number 1 corner next year. That and a solid pass rusher. I'm not saying a pass rusher has to be better than Hutch, because no, Hutch is a top 10 pass rusher in the league. But just a solid guy. I'm trying to think of a perfect guy that could join our team that, is just solid, who gets you, 7 to 8, 9 sacks a year. Perfect guy. Leonard Floyd. Bring him into Detroit. We should have brought him in this year. Would have been perfect. If we would have had Leonard Floyd, our pass rush would be really fine this year. I understand we got James Houston coming back, but how much is he going to really help us, Because literally all he is finesse. That's all he is. He has no power ability because he's a small guy. So all it is finesse moves for him. We need a power guy on the edge. That's what we need. And Leonard Floyd is a perfect guy. But secondary struggle. Vildor's been struggling these past couple games. Don't know what's going on with him. But he is facing number 1 and 2 receivers, because that's how bad our secondary is in terms of the corners. Because our secondary in terms of safeties, I think we have one of the best safety trio squads in the league. Joseph Johnson, Melifanu, Walker. That is insanely good safety core. That is ridiculous. And that's not including, Brian Branch, who's safety corner. So that just shows how good our safeties are. But our corners besides Cam Sutton. And Cam Sutton's not been playing all these past couple games. Like, I understand he had the pick, but he's been letting up a lot of guys get by him and a lot of yards to receivers. I don't know what's going on with him. Hopefully he's all right. But I mean, what a game by Goff. But what a game by St. Brown, by the way. He also ended with 1,500 yards, which was third in the league in receiving. And he ended with 119 receptions, which was tied second in the league, ending with 10 touchdowns, which was also top 10. So great year by St. Brown. Unbelievable year. And one of my shorts, I said St. Brown is a top 8 receiver in the league. He's probably rose for me. He's probably top 5 potentially now. He's top 5 or 6 for me now. There's only a couple guys that can name better than that. That's JJ, Tyreek Hill, probably CeeDee Lamb. That's 3. And then probably A.J. Brown. So he would probably be the 5th best receiver in the league, in my opinion, right now, at this very moment. And he's close between A.J. Brown. He's insanely close. I could see him passing A.J. Brown next year. So, in my opinion, he's the 5th best receiver in the league right now. And he's going to continue to rise, man. We need to pay this guy immediately. But that's basically all that happened in the game. Solid coaching. By the way, Aaron Glenn is doing a little bit better these past couple weeks, but also still... can't do good against insane receivers like CeeDee Lamb, JJ Jettis, and all them guys. But now let's go into the transactions. So, we have this now. Again, this was a couple weeks ago, so cut me some slack. We have waived Isaiah Buggs. We re-signed Jason Kabinda, who got waived. We re-signed him to the practice squad. I mean, whatever. Buggs sucks, though. I wish we would have kept Buggs around. Evidently, what I've been hearing is that he is an alcoholic or something like that, which could have a tie to the reason he got released. I don't know. I don't believe that, though. I don't believe that. Unless if he specifically is drunk or something, drunk driving, and he kills somebody or something like that, it's not a big deal. So I don't think that's necessarily the reason at all. But we re-signed Kabinda to the practice squad, whatever, again. We released Bruce Irvin from the practice squad. This hurts. This move I don't like at all. Because we released him. Well, we could have done, because he passed waivers. He waived. He was waived. He passed waivers, which means he could re-sign with our practice squad and have 4 more elevations. And so he was sitting in free agency for about a week, and he finally got picked up by the Dolphins to be on the practice squad since everybody on their defensive line gets hurt. But, unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable. So he's no longer a Detroit Lion. Wish we would have brought him back. Would have helped out our practice squad. We have also waived Anthony Fursker. That also happened a week ago, but he's back now on the practice squad. He got re-signed. He'll probably play this week if Laporta does not. And we released Matt Farnock, or Fornoik, whatever his name is, from the practice squad, the offensive tackle. We've activated, of course, like I said earlier, C.J. Gardner-Johnson and McNeil from injured reserve. And like I said, we re-signed Fursker to the practice squad. Now, these are the inactives for this upcoming game. James Mitchell got hurt last game, or got hurt in practice. I can't remember what. I think he got hurt in practice. Houston, we didn't know if he was coming back this week, but he's been also ruled out, which probably means there's a decent shot that he won't return this season. Hopefully he does, because if he doesn't, that's where it's going to come to haunt us, is our cornerbacks and pass rush. Jared Jacobs has also been ruled out. He's most likely done as a Detroit Lion, as he will get most likely placed on IR, as this is the last year on his deal, and he just has not been playing good. I understand he has 3 picks this year, but he's allowed so many yards. So I don't expect him to be back. He probably played his last game as a Detroit Lion. And Khalif Raymond's been ruled out as well, got hurt last game. And the questionables are Kaminsky with an illness and Laporta with his knee injury. If Laporta plays, that's going to be incredible. I mean, that's going to be crazy if Laporta can play. I mean, that just shows the grit and toughness in Laporta, man. That's just all our team around that, too. But that are the moves. That was our game. Big game against the LA Rams. This will be the first game in the playoffs we have played in, what now? 2016. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Almost 8. 7 or 8 years. 8 years, yeah. 8 years. 8 years since we've been in the playoffs. And oh boy, the scripters couldn't have wrote this any better. There's no way. Rams versus Detroit. Stafford versus Goff. It's going to be incredible, man. We need to pick up this W. And oh my God, dude. If we can beat Matt Stafford, that's going to be incredible, man. I mean, that's going to be incredible, man. But one pride, go Lions. Big game, huge game. And if we do somehow lose this game, I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be to our corners or to our pass rush, lack of pass rush. But one pride, go Lions. Oh boy, huge game, guys.